It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already. Tonight, it'll be the Sacramento Kings up against the Hawks in Atlanta. Well, for Atlanta, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. And already the grind of the new season starting to show. Shaq, how do you stay fresh for the long haul, both as a player and as just a massive individual?
Veteran guys, you got to know how to pace yourself. And minute restrictions, it really has become a bigger part of the game.
Yeah, I agree. So, injury histories, always taken into account now. This is why you have to develop depth.
How do you stay fresh for the long haul?
Oh, man, I have this drink I put together.
Oh, really? What is it?
Oh, yeah. It's a little, I take tomatoes, right? And I squish them up, and it gets real like tomato sauce.
Uh-huh.
And I put that in. And then I take kale salad. I put that in.
What are you making, spaghetti?
I put ginger in it.
Yeah.
Put that in. I put a little cayenne pepper in, a little bell pepper.
Sounds disgusting.
Ernie, he's making lasagna over there.
Sounds disgusting.
Can I get some of your lasagna?
Oh, man, it's the pepper. It makes you pep up.
Yeah, that'll do it for us. Thanks for tuning in.
Also gives.
The Hawks play before the hometown crowd, and we've got it live right here from Atlanta, Georgia. Along with Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and our sideline reporter David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Well, it was the Sacramento Kings winning their last game against the Magic in Orlando.
And always tough on the road, but that attack mindset that they brought offensively, I really felt like that set them apart.
Yeah, sometimes when you're pushing the action, you can see some great teamwork, and then all of a sudden the individuals on your team can take over. All of that here tonight.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
So Atlanta will get the first possession. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the court for Sacramento. Down low, it's Bagley and Cauley-Stein. Fox is at the point with Hield next to him at the 2. And it's Jackson in at the 3 spot. Brent, we're already starting to hear some trade rumors out there. Is it ever too early to start making changes?
If you talk to any good GM, it's never too early to start thinking about how can I make this roster better.
Constant thought.
There are some times, though, and I think we've seen this through the years, where there might be a player that's on the roster that, whether there's a coaching change or his approach to the season, maybe it's a contract year and mentally he's not really where he needs to be, that sometimes teams examine that and think, we might need to remove this now in order for us to get where we need to go. And that might be some of the reasons why, Kevin, we're hearing some names this early in the season.
Exactly. Now here's Prince. Ivan Bagley missing his last shot. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Hield against Bazemore. Hield dishes to Bagley. Pulls it up. Hield can't hit.
And usually that mid-range jumper finds the bottom of the net. The defense has to be more aggressive moving forward.
Bazemore passes to Collins. Back to Bazemore. Hawks passing it around. It's Young on the wing. Guarded by Fox. It's good.
And a depth mid-range shooter as well. All Young needs is a little breathing room, and he set the fire.
Cauley-Stein kicks to Hield. Bagley dishes to Cauley-Stein. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Young finds Bazemore. Young passes to Bazemore. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
I love how Bazemore just takes it to the defense on the drive and finishes that one easily. Shows no mercy when the ball's in his hands.
Now, here's Fox. Last time out, he had 13 points. And there's the whistle, 3-second violation. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Taking a look at Toronto. They've climbed all the way up to the 2nd spot.
And I think for Sacramento, they have to like the progression that we've seen. Bit by bit, everything coming together. Consistency going forward will be key.
Now, here is Young. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Cleveland.
He also did a masterful job in that game of drawing a lot of fouls, so he's creating havoc for the defense.
Here's Jackson out to the right wing. First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in.
No, that just happened.
And how about the leaping ability of Bagley? He gets off the ground with ease to throw that one down.
And that was an Unleash Chaos replay, courtesy of Under Armour, wreaking havoc at the rim. Now here's Prince. He's coming off a 13-point game against Cleveland. Bazemore passes to Collins. It's stolen by Bagley. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Back to Fox. Outside for Jackson. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touched by Prince.
Yeah, tremendous hustle just to get a hand on that one.
Anticipation, reads the play all the way. So close to a steal.
And Sacramento has possession. Goes back up. And there's the nice layup by Cauley-Stein. Cauley-Stein's got his 2nd bucket of the night.
Talk often about physicality of bigger players. Cauley-Stein, one of those guys who fits into that category.
Young taking his time here. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And for Trae Young, it's a little unfair that he's already being compared to Steph Curry.
Scouts are always going to look for comparisons. And I'm not saying Young is Curry, but many of the strengths and weaknesses are similar. The size and athleticism, the insane range, and both have that it factor.
And the first one drops.
And I'll tell you, Trae Young, go big or go home. Always gives you 100%, as competitive as they come. And the young fella wants to win so badly, sometimes that emotion really comes out.
And the Kings making a change here. Farrell's checked in. Now here's Jackson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring hit from him. Now here's Bagley. D right on him. Shot clock at 6. Healed, can't hit. And you know, Greg, it's amazing the impact Young makes, especially, of course, on the offensive end.
High-level shot maker, a threat the moment he crosses half court. Instinctive playmaker, just needs to play more within himself and avoid over-dribbling.
And here's Bagley. Following the three-pointer by Trae Young. Over Collins. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And that's the thing about Bagley. Big, athletic, versatile, very hard to stop without fouling. You know, when Marvin Bagley entered the league, there were some questions as to which position would he play, but the versatility he brings is special. He can guard a number of positions, score inside and out, and he is a tremendous rebounder.
And he knocks down the first one. And one thing you can't question about Bagley, Greg, his intensity level.
As competitive as they come, he's ferocious around the rim. Oftentimes, he looks like he wants it more than anybody else on the floor.
And so he hits both.
And really the potential Bagley has is so exciting. Just an absolute menace on both ends. And you can tell he wants to be great.
Now, here is Young. He has 7. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to go on Willie Cauley-Stein.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
Well, the Kings entering their second full campaign here without DeMarcus Cousins. Did they get equal value in that trade that they made? Probably not, but they have the flexibility, and they've added to this roster with some young talent, and see if they can make some combinations here work to escape the mediocrity that they're in.
And the Kings talked about a culture change as they parted ways with Cousins. Brent, do you see it that way?
Well, DeMarcus Cousins was learning and growing, and the interesting thing you go back to is his relationship with Denver Nuggets coach now, Mike Malone. It seemed like they were on a good path, and then a lot of other things happened around this basketball team. So just trying to clear the air, trying to make things fresh and new. They have the new arena. I think that's helping them along. But now it's incumbent on the front office to deliver with this clean slate they have in front of them.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And Yogi Ferrell, the undrafted Indiana product, went undrafted after staying all 4 years in Bloomington, but he has shown, Greg, to be a very strong player.
Yeah, and Ferrell is the perfect example of why you give a 4-year player a chance. Knows how to make the most of his time on the floor. I think he could start for a team, maybe be the 6th man, lead the second unit, play off the guard. He is just such a versatile player.
Now, here is Young. He's got 9. The pass to Len. A second chance effort. Bagley with the rebound.
Well, the D did their job there. Excellent contest to alter the close ranger.
Offensive rebound. Here's Cauley-Stein. The feed now to Jackson. Over Prince. And all around the rim that time before dropping in.
Just feel like Willie Cauley-Stein getting more comfortable the more time he's gotten in his young career and showing signs of being a passer.
Young outside. Banked in off the glass. Young's got 11 points. And here's Ferrell. He'll bring it up for Sacramento. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, faced off twice last season, and it was a split between the two teams.
Yeah, they matched up very evenly, and that's not a compliment to either side. Last season was a struggle for both squads, and now they're each looking to turn the corner. Well, Buddy Hield, not the biggest or most athletic player that's on the floor, but his work ethic is undeniable. He is a total gym rat. At Oklahoma, they had to lock up the balls. Otherwise, the guy would stay there all day long and all night.
Shooting 2.
He's off on the first. And Hield grew up in the Bahamas. The story goes they didn't have a court until he turned 12, so he built hoops out of whatever he could find.
Yeah, and whatever he found consisted of milk crates or bicycle rims that had rusted up, and he'd nail them up and shoot every shot he could at them, and they would get torn down, and he'd rebuild them again and again. He's shown that same determination in building up his game at the NBA level.
Brent, I'm sure there were times, and you've won 2 championships, where you thought you were going to win a title, and it didn't happen.
I'll go back to the first night that I thought potentially we were going to win a title with San Antonio, and that was in the 2005 finals against Detroit. We had come back home for a Game 6 that I thought we were going to win, and we did not. And sort of the pressure that mounted after that game to know that we were going to a Game 7 and had lost an opportunity where we really did feel coming off of Game 5 we were going to win. It certainly elevated the intensity of the Game 7, which we eventually won at home for our title in 2005.
And this is what it's all about, guys. The competitive spirit, the energy that we're seeing. This one's got the feeling like it's going to go down to the wire.
And if it does, as evenly as these two teams have played here, it's anyone's guess who's going to come out on top.
A lot of give and take between these sides early.
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
And Bogdanovich kicks to Randolph. Pass to Farrell. And here's Bagley over Dedmon. Rebound Atlanta. Len's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Young outside. Now here's Len. Really struggled in the loss against Cleveland. Let's send it over to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Lloyd Pierce. David.
Thanks, Kevin. What he said they're concerned with most is slowing down transition. He said those guys can cause problems if we let them get on the fast break. So stopping space and pace is priority number 1. Kevin?
Thank you, David.
You just can't leave anyone open around Young. He's very capable of spotting his uncovered teammates.
Dedmon with the block, and he gets it back. Healed against Len. Passes to Young. Back to Lynn. And another shot. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Zach Randolph.
You know, you can't be overzealous inside when you guard Young. You got to be better at contesting without fouling.
The Hawks have been solid at the line so far. 4 for 4.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Well, the Hawks were super young last year, and they had all the troubles that come with youth. Inconsistency, guys trying to find out what their role is for the year. Lots of turnover problems and questionable shot selection. And now they're younger this year. So if you're a fan of the Hawks, patience is the key.
And, of course, all the comparisons to Steph Curry. Young just trying to be the best version of himself. And we've already seen the upside.
And the basket is good. Randolph's got his first points in this one. The Hawks leading by 3. And for the Hawks, those problems are things that are just part of the process, Brent, of growing this team.
Yeah, you got to really focus on positives around this rebuild. We've got a solid group of young, talented players that can really shoot the basketball. What they're going to have to do is start to take some pride on the defensive end of the floor, and they're going to have to learn what it takes to play an 82-game season with consistent effort on both ends.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Carter kicks to Lynn. And again, it's Atlanta.
Just wonderful form on the J from Lynn, dropping it in the face of the D.
Here's Farrell, defended by Young. Farrell passes to Randall. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
They are just killing them on the interior. Zach Randolph, a paragon of consistency over his career. In his prime, a nightly 20 and 10 guy, and still producing.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
Free throw good, Randolph. And the Memphis Grizzlies retiring Randolph's number 50 going into last season.
And helped forge an identity for that team and really made them relevant. I mean, he's played on a handful of teams, but I think Memphis was that match made in heaven.
Now, here's Dedmon. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Here's Lynn. Takes the 12-footer and hits. And the Hawks lead by 6.
And this team trusts Lynn to play within the offense. He's very good at taking high-quality shots.
Sacramento moving it around. And Bielitsa kicks to Bogdanovich. 6 to shoot. Back to Bielitsa. From outside the arc. Rebound by the Hawks. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And they couldn't get stops when they needed to. The opposition just too comfortable shooting the basketball.
And it's not that you have to take chances, but you got to step up your effort and try to get disruptive. They never did that. And on the road, that's a recipe for disaster.
Here's Kufis following the score by Vince Carter. Randolph inside. Guarded by Lynn. It's Bielitsa. Bangs home the trifecta.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Carter outside. Kicks to Dedmon. Young outside.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
And there's the rebound by Dedmon. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. "19 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Lynn looking it over. Kufis with the block. But they get it back. And a wide open look for Lynn. That one falls coming off Carter's feet. And it's 6 points for Lynn. And so it's Atlanta bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. You may not remember Vince Carter traded on draft night for his college teammate Antoine Jamison, but he talked about that crazy exchange.
So as I'm sitting back there, he's like, there's been a trade, you know, Toronto Raptors and Golden State make a trade for Antoine James and Vince Carter right there. So our families are sitting right next to each other. So they're fixing the hat, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, here's your hat. All right, give us that hat. Move forward. So it was just the weirdest thing.
The 5th and 6th picks in the draft, both of them went on to great careers.
And draft day trades happen all the time, but being traded for your college teammate, pick apart, that's pretty unique.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And for the Hawks guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Yeah, that prevented some points, didn't it? Also, how you have that intimidation factor going early on. You wonder if in the 4th quarter they'll think back to the first.
Anderson is out there with Carter. Then it's Dwayne Dedmon. Then it's Jeremy Lin. So that's the Hawks 5. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And Lin has really carved out a nice role for himself in our league. An effective two-way player who can score, rebound, pass, and defend.
And the Hawks making a change here. Collins is checked in.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Well, embrace the contact while you're shooting. Tough to do, but not for Zach Randolph, given his experience.
Now here's Anderson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Lynn against Fox. Now here's Lynn. Tight defense on him. Does not find the target. That makes him 3 for 5. Bielitsa. And the rejection by Collins. Now the Hawks moving it the other way. And finished off by Collins.
And at full speed, he still has the wherewithal to get himself in good position.
Yeah, the snap decisions right there, reading the situation on the move and then making the right choice.
Now here's Kufis. He feeds it to Fox. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2. Dave Yeager in his 3rd season with the Kings. Before that, 9 seasons, Brent, in Memphis, with 3 of those being the Grizzlies head coach.
An interesting end to his time in Memphis as things just kind of went awry between him and management. But the personnel decisions is what it came down to. And he has a fresh start in Sacramento with a very young, very energetic team that needs some direction. Maybe Dave Yeager, the guy to get the job done.
The Hawks leading. Pass to Dedmon. Feeds it to Collins. And finished off by Collins.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Now, here's Kufis. He is still scoreless so far in this one. And the call will be against Justin Anderson. That is his first foul of the game. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Sacramento. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. It's Dedmon with the rebound. Dedmon's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Now the pass to Anderson. Herter, he is covered by Bogdanovich. Kufis grabs the miss.
It looked like he wanted no part of that. Superb defense there, really making it tough on him.
Dedmon with the block.
Well, Dedmon's reach is a huge advantage there to help him tally some more block shots.
Kent Bazemore's checked in for Atlanta. And the Kings also making a change. Jackson's checked in. Atlanta leading by 4. Bazemore passes to Dedmon. And Willie Cauley-Stein gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Collins kicks to Lynn. The Hawks working the ball around. Bazemore passes to Lynn. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Bazemore. From deep three-point range.
Bogdanovich pretty good at making some things tough for his man. Very active on the defensive end.
Pass to Collins. Lynn from long range. And there's the foul. It's on Dwayne Dedmon. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Sacramento. Bagley, he's checked in for Bielitsa. And Hield subbed in for Bogdanovich. On the wing, Jackson to the middle. Here's Cauley-Stein. That shot off. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, the Kings signed some quality vets last season, but when the losses piled up, they decided to go young. Now, the focus is on development. The veterans still have a role providing steadying presence on the court and in the locker room. Kevin?
David, it certainly is a balancing act. Thanks for that report. Here's Fox. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, there's an old cliche, Kevin, we've heard or said a million times about speed killing. Well, perhaps no player is more emblematic of that than De'Aaron Fox. End to end, he could be one of the fastest players in the league.
Free throw good, Fox. Well, Fox is a blur in transition. Brent, his speed is a weapon.
Yeah, and he can use it if he has the ball or if he doesn't. Become a slasher and get into the teeth of the defense. Defensively, his lateral quickness and intensity also can make him a pest. It'll be nice to see if he takes some pride on that end of the floor growing up.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2.
Well, the quickness of De'Aaron Fox really is incredible. I got a chance to see John Wall early in his career, and it was the speed that we talked about, but speed can kill. And if De'Aaron Fox can control it, he'll be fantastic at creating opportunities for himself and his teammates. You got to make that. The defense was far from terrible, but, man, that's an easy shot.
Hield against Bazemore. Hield right side. And there's the foul. And it's on Taurean Prince. That's foul number 2 for him. Bagley kicks to Fox. top of the key, Bagley. 6 on the shot clock. It's good. Bagley's got his second bucket of the night.
Yeah, the rhythm, the timing, an encouraging sign seeing Bagley knock it down there off the catch.
Collins dishes to Lynn. Back to Collins. Another shot. Herter, guarded by Jackson. The Kings trail by 3. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
And Justin Jackson played his high school basketball at that powerhouse Homeschool Christian Youth Association down there in Texas. He was homeschooled since the 4th grade, and he was in charge of his own studies and his own basketball development. I would say he did pretty well.
One shot.
And it's tied up with that one. And by all accounts, Brent, Justin Jackson tremendously focused and diligent both in his studies and in working on his game.
Well, so many teams looking at not only your success on the court, but what you do with your time off of it. And he's demonstrated that he's a self-starter, a self-motivated guy, and that serves him quite well. And maybe a little disengaged in the first quarter. Ball didn't come his way. He's really provided some scoring in the second quarter of action.
Now, here's Bagley. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Magic in Orlando. To the inside. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And for Lynn, missing the season last year, he's just glad to be back. His playmaking and creativity is something that this team needs. As long as he's healthy and playing aggressively, he'll be an effective guard option.
And that one falls for Lynn. And with Lynn, he made a point upon returning from injury, saying he will not change how he plays.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, they'll shy away from contact after experiencing a torn patella like Lynn did, but he knows that he is at his best going at defenders and absorbing that contact. He said he'll try and be more aware of how he lands, but has no plans of changing his game.
Fox kicks to Cauley-Stein. Back to Fox. Shoots over Lynn. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
And the dogged attitude of Bagley. When shots go up, he wants to be the first to pounce on misses.
Lynn against Fox. Prince, the pass to Collins. Got a piece of it, and he gets it back. Basket counts.
Just don't touch him right now, okay? You're going to burn yourself. The guy is on fire.
Hield finds Jackson. Back to Hield. This one for 3. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Hield's got 7.
And you love how Hield is always ready with his feet set. Once the ball hits his hands, it's off.
Bazemore on the wing. Passes it to Lynn. Shoots a 3. Cauley-Stein grabs the board. Cauley-Stein's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Hield the pass to Bagley. Outside for Jackson. And another 3 for Sacramento.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. When it comes to veteran players, Brent, on a team, what characteristics make for a good leader for a bunch of young guys under him?
We talk a lot about veteran guys on teams, Kevin, and I think one of the most important aspects to think about is that those veterans have a lot more impact if they're still part of playing minutes for a coaching staff. At some point, 4 or 5 months into a season, And an older player is telling you how to do something and only get a chance to see it during practice or him pointing it out on film when you're playing doesn't have as much of an impact.
Doesn't resonate
right.
as much.
When a guy gets 15 minutes a night and you get to see him do those things as a young player from the bench and say, wow, everything he told me on my list, he's checked all those boxes. So having a vet that plays, much more impactful.
Good point. Now here's Jackson after Taurean Prince's miss. 13 feet away. That shot off. Good work defensively by Carter. And here's Young. He'll bring it up for Atlanta. Trailing by 2. Knocks down the 3 ball.
This is what the crowd comes to see. Young has that it factor.
Here's Farrell, defended by Young. Healed right side. The 3. Atlanta with the rebound. Land's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Carter. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Sacramento's gone 3 of 5 beyond the arc since the start of the second quarter. Here's Cauley Stein. Pass to Farrell. Outside for Jackson. But they recover it. Here's Bagley. Prince with the defensive effort. Atlanta's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%. But they've continued to let him fly. And he gets the bucket. Now it's a 3-point Hawks lead.
And they've been working hard on the offensive glass here in the second. And it's paying dividends. They're getting a lot of second chance points.
Here's Farrell. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Orlando. Jackson kicks to Farrell. Off target from outside. The Hawks leading by 3. It's stolen by Bagley. Shot by Hield. Nobody around. Gets the 3-pointer to fall. Hield's got 6 in the quarter.
Pretty much poor defensive effort there. You have to get a hand in his face when he's spotting up from distance.
Young outside. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Another 3 for Atlanta.
And the 3-point shot is something Bazemore has improved steadily over his career. You can't give him room like that to fire.
Farrell passes to Bagley. 1:37 left to play here in the half. Clock at 6. It's good. And the Hawks lead is cut to just 1 in the basket from Hield.
Now you could just tell in his gait and in the look on his face, he's in a great rhythm after a terrific first quarter. He is feeling it here in the second.
Now here is Young. He's got 17. The feed to Land. It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first. Even after a number of years in this league, Len still feels like a developmental project.
Well, out of the 5 positions, centers seem to be not only the latest guys to develop, but also with the way the game is going, you wonder what their position is in today's game. You look at Marc Gasol, he didn't become elite until he turned about 30 years old. Hassan Whiteside, DeAndre Jordan. It takes some time, Kevin.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Wayne Dedmon comes in for Taurean Prince. And it's Justin Anderson in for Kent Bazemore. A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Kufis checked in for Cauley Stein. Randolph comes in for Bagley. Bielitsa, he checks in for Jackson. And it's Bogdan Bogdanovic in for Buddy Hield. For Sacramento, they have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
The first free throw is good.
Well, you wonder how much of the Kings' scoring struggles are really self-inflicted. Either guys sped up on possessions or trying to make too much happen on their own. Last season, the league's 3rd best shooting percentage from long range, but they were bottom 3 in terms of their three-point attempts.
Both shots good from the stripe.
Looking comfortable there from the line. Knows he needs to come through for his team at the charity stripe.
Atlanta's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Bogdanovich against Carter. Here's Young. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Carter's got 3 assists now in this one.
He's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
Here's Bielitsa. He's got 8. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. Count it. Farrell's got 5 points so far.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Now Young. We've got 28 seconds left in the first half of basketball. It's rebounded by Farrell. The Kings trailing. Here's Bielitsa. Young with the steal. And oh, here we go. Young's got it. The fast break chance. And Vince Carter with the slam.
And that's what Carter does best. Knifing his way inside so he can finish with the easy slam.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. The Hawks on top, up by 3. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Dave Yeager. Coach, what is going to be the focus offensively going into the second half?
Well, we try to go inside. You know, that's our strength anyways. And for us, you know, our bread is buttered inside, so we try to play high-low. And then if the threes come out of that, great, but we want to try to get everything to the rim.
Coach, it all starts with that entry pass to the big, and then everybody plays off of him. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson alongside the Jet. That's Kenny Smith. The Diesel, that's Shaquille O'Neal. A lot of big-time action so far in this one. We saw Trae Young lighting it up in the first half. He ended up with 19 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
Well, they're putting bodies on people. If you just look at the rebounding numbers, you can tell that they've been putting their body on and being more physical than the other team. Now, that fact looms large on both sides, and that's going to be the difference in the second half.
Shaq, what's your take on Sacramento?
Aggressive. I called them up earlier. I like it. They're taking it hard to the rack, dictating the pace, setting the physical tone. You're not going to get that by launching threes all night. Everybody knows that.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
Welcome back, folks. Always so much activity going on here in the bustling metropolis of Atlanta, Georgia. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, he has been dominant as we expected coming into this one. Skilled and relentless.
The Kings trail by 3. On the floor for Sacramento. Fox is at the point with Hield next to him at the 2. Down low, it's Bagley and Cauley-Stein. And it's Jackson in at the 3. Now here's Hield. Jackson dishes to Hield. 6 to shoot over Prince. The baseline jumper goes down. 14 points for Buddy Hield.
That's got to feel good for the young player. Buddy Hield showing a full arsenal tonight offensively.
Young with the ball. Now guarded by Fox. Prince kicks to Young. Gets that one through the hole, make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
And to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
Fox passes to Bagley. Inside, Hield makes that one his 6th of the night, shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
A little tease there from Buddy Hield, showing his explosiveness. Undersized, but able to convert inside.
Collins kicks it to Bazemore. Unloads. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. With Kent Bazemore, Brent, a lot of what he brings on the defensive end starts with his length, a very large, long arm span.
Yeah, not a picnic for any guard that's trying to navigate around the length of Kent Bazemore. He's always had an impressive steal and block total as the seasons have gone on, and the ball handler doesn't ever feel quite comfortable with Baze around.
The free throw dropped for Bazemore.
Well, the best part of this Hawks team now is their youth. And with youth comes a ton of potential, a ton of room for this team to grow together, both the new coaching staff and the new guys to the league. And they have some cap flexibility, some other things that they can do to get creative around this youthful and exuberant roster.
And so he hits both. And Brent, with the Hawks having the picks they had in the draft, helps as well.
Well, you bring that much talent in, that's always a good thing, because talent is going to trump anything else. You add that to the rookies, John Collins, who was good last year, and the development of Taurean Prince. It seems like the core is going to be in place. It's just a team that over the next 2 or 3 seasons is going to have to learn what it takes to compete night in and night out.
For Sacramento, they have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line. He misses the free throw. Well, Greg, and Willie Cauley-Stein, a live wire 7-footer.
I mean, he's got great foot speed for his size. I just like to see him really become more aggressive offensively and try to improve that skill set. But his mobility is so desirable in today's game.
That one misses.
You wonder what the next step is, and for Willie Cauley-Stein, what he's done in the offseason to improve himself offensively. Maybe a few more things in the footwork category will help him out.
Now, here is Young. He's got 21. He kicks it to Land. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Land's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Well, 7'1", 250+ pounds. He's just so good at pushing through contact as Alex Len.
The pass to Cauley-Stein. Back to Fox. And the 3 ball is good. Fox has got his 2nd basket of the night.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
Here's Young. Shoots over Fox. Len finds Young. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
You know, tight little up fake there. Young using it to create contact, and we know he's a terrific free throw shooter.
He shot 5 of 6 at the foul line.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, the Kings are certainly in full rebuild mode, adding to this roster with a bunch of young talent. Last season, a bottom 3 team in both offense and defense, and a bottom 4 in rebounding. So plenty of room to make strides this year.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. And the Kings looking to develop their young players. Coach Yeager with a deep rotation.
Well, last season it was interesting. If you look at the minutes totals, there was no player that played more than 28 minutes a game. So a multitude of players getting tons of opportunities. And they added some veterans in the locker room to try to help those guys along and provide some mentorship.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 8. The shot by Cauley-Stein, no good.
And that was an easy one there. Just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes everything can go right, but the shot doesn't go down. Nothing there is automatic. Yeah, 3 of 4 to start this half. Offensively, they've been great.
Healed the pass to Jackson. Here's Cauley Stein, rebounded by the Hawks. Land's got 9 rebounds now tonight.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
More and more signs of the skill set of Taurean Prince as he finds an open teammate. Crazy to think that Bazemore was mostly known for elaborate bench celebrations in Golden State before coming to Atlanta, but he's worked his way up and has eventually become a starter and a very important player, key player for these Atlanta Hawks.
One shot.
The free throw dropped for Bazemore. Well, for Bazemore, working his way up has been a theme for his career.
Yeah, undrafted out of ODU, Old Dominion. He got reps in the Summer League and the D League, as it was known at the time, now the G League. And every challenge that he's met it head on with great enthusiasm and has found a way to gain a coach's confidence. Here we are now.
He had 6 points from long range in the first half, but nothing's fallen here since.
Here's Bagley. And finished off by Bagley.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it, because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback. Now here's Prince. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Young against Hield, and Young kicks to Prince. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far not working.
Yeah, I hope it hasn't gone to his head. He may be trying too hard at this point.
And De'Aaron Fox gets the whistle that time. That's his 5th foul.
And still early in the period, and they're only 1 foul away from being over the limit.
Bogdanovich is checked in for De'Aaron Fox. The Hawks leading by 6. Young outside. Pass to Collins. Now, here is Young. Carter, guarded by Jackson. The Kings trail by 6. Hield outside. And Prince comes to help. It's tipped. Lynn with the steal. To the paint. That's tipped.
And a skilled shot blocker to boot. Love how Bagley uses that height and reach to stifle shooting.
Offensive rebound. Goes back up. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between 3-point shots and 2-point shots for Sacramento. He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here. No good on that one.
There's no doubt that the Hawks are right in the midst or the beginning stages of a massive rebuild. It's something that the Hawks organization had delayed quite a bit. They had that great core of Horford, Korver, Teague, and Bazemore that got them into the playoffs for several seasons. But now it's about the future. It's about growth. And it's about these young guys getting an opportunity.
And the Hawks and the rebuild, it was something they put off year after year.
Well, it was a team here that made the playoffs every season since 2008, so a 9-year run for the Atlanta Hawks, and they tried their best to add players to put them over the top, but nobody really came down to Atlanta to do that. So you can't be mad for a decade of really good basketball here in Atlanta, and now the reset is on.
Bogdanovich against Land.
Just his night, guys. We saw Young do this in college. Once he gets into a rhythm, he will just put it on you.
Now here's Hield. He's got 16. Here's Bogdanovich. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And Bogdan Bogdanovich, Greg, a highly decorated player internationally. Multiple silver medals with the Serbian national team. A EuroLeague champion back in 2017.
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented player, very skilled, and at 6'6" can play either guard spot. Great shooter. I think he's one to watch.
Free throw good, Bogdanovich. Well, the one thing the Kings have gotten right, Brent, is this new home arena. It is one of the best in the league.
Well, on warm Sacramento nights, what's really cool about this place is they open it up. So you got the natural airflow. It sneaks in. It feels comfortable here. Something these fans can take a lot of pride in with what they've done in downtown Sacramento. You know, the Kings in 2016 in that draft swapping spots with the Suns, and they went from 8 to 13, and in exchange acquired the rights to Bogdan Bogdanovich. Sacramento might like to do a 2-over on that with the 13th pick, but Bogdanovich is certainly a keeper.
And Lynn plays with a real edge. When he's driving inside, he looks determined to beat everyone to the basket.
Here's Farrell, defended by Lynn. Outside, Bogdanovich. Here's a look at what's coming up now for the Sacramento Kings. On Sunday, they'll take on Chris Middleton and the Milwaukee Bucks. Then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors.
And the matchup with the Timberwolves, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
Free throw good, Bogdanovich.
Well, the thing you think about with Bogdan Bogdanovich, besides his first name being in his last name, is potential. A young, raw prospect with plenty of upside.
He's off on the second.
And they are shooting themselves in the foot here. They've lost their touch at the line. The percentage continues to drop from where it was in that first half.
De'Aaron Fox is checked in for Yogi Ferrell. Anderson with the ball. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. 5 to shoot. Atlanta needs to get off a shot here. And here's Bogdanovich. Bielitsa inside. Defended by Lynn.
Pretty early to be over the limit. That foul situation is something we want to keep an eye on.
And the first one at the line is good. The Hawks making a switch here. Carter's checked in. Good on both.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Lynn against Fox. Lynn kicks to Carter. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Kings trail by 3. Now here's Fox. He has 6. Passes it to Bogdanovich. For the tie. They grab their own miss. Randolph finds Koufos. Randolph trying to free himself up, and it's Koufos missing. Here's Prince. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Prince has got his first basket of the night.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
They've also taken care of some of the details in this game, and that's why they're ahead.
A shot by Randolph. Nobody around. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Great read of the defense there. If you're not guarding Zach Randolph closely, he'll shoot right away.
Outside, Lynn. Carter outside. There's Dedmon, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And looking at the numbers for De'Aaron Fox, some last season stats for him. Averaged about 11 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. You know, year one, he was learning the ropes. I think he's hoping to make a much bigger impact in his second campaign.
Absolutely. As a rookie, the game just goes incredibly fast. Sophomore year, things start to slow down.
The first one falls. Dwayne Dedmon, not a big name in the NBA right now, Brent, but he's a very productive player in what time he sees on the floor.
Well, he never does anything without misstep out there. Great length for a player. He competes on both ends of the floor, and he bolsters up a front line no matter what position you put him at, the 4 or the 5.
Now, here's Fox. 6 points for him. Kufis kicks to Bogdanovic. Back to Kufis. From the baseline. And that one hits back iron.
Yeah, this has been a night where you could look at his shooting and his performance, and it's affected the team. That's the bottom line. Hard to leave any NBA player that wide open from that distance.
Here's Fox, following the score by Vince Carter. Kufis dishes to Fox. Second chance shot. That one's in there. The Hawks lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Kufis.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass.
Now here's Lynn. 10 points for him. Here's Anderson. Second chance shot. Dedmon's shot is off. The Kings trail by 4. Tries from 16. Not going to go that time. Good work defensively by Carter.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
From 15 feet away, a nice shot by Anderson. And the Hawks lead by 6.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Carter against Bogdanovic. Kicks to Fox. And there's the rebound by Dedmon. Dedmon's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. The kick out to Anderson. A three-pointer, no good. The Kings trail by 6. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
A nice shot by Bogdanovic.
He's obviously hit a bit of a dry spell here. Only 1 of 5 this quarter.
Lynn the pass to Dedmon. Lynn against Fox. Out to Carter. And stolen by Bogdanovic. Lays it up and banks it in. And now just a 2-point Hawks lead.
And not a stellar first half, but he's become an absolute machine scoring the ball in the second.
Carter outside. Pass to Anderson. But they'll get another chance.
And I just love how he's banging down low. His hard work will let them use some more of the clock here.
For the Hawks, Kent Bazemore's checked in for Anderson. Young is subbed in for Jeremy Lin.
I thought Prince had a phenomenal second year in the NBA last season, asked to do a little bit more, a little more confidence in his ball handling and scoring ability. He jumped into the starting lineup, and he instantly became a key part of what they were trying to do in a very intricate offense around former coach Mike Budenholzer.
Now here's Randolph. 10 points for him. And stolen by Bazemore. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
And this is why Young is so dangerous. He just gets that shot off so fast before the defense can react.
Now Fox. 6 points for him. And Bjelica has it in the corner. He gets it up. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's the Atlanta Hawks heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And we'll be back with you shortly. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, Greg, is peripheral vision.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. And so Young will bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. They lead by 7. Young and Bazemore team up in the backcourt. Dwayne Dedman is out there with Len, and it's Carter in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Now, here is Young. Shot clock at 6. Sacramento grabs the miss. Next up for them, the Bucks in Milwaukee. That's game 4 of 4 out on the road for them. Bielitsa passes to Bogdanovich. Dedman with the block. And stolen by Bogdanovich. A floater. Randolph can't hit. The Hawks leading by 7. Carter outside. Down low. The kick out to Young. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Fox, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game.
And guys, this is where their depth really comes into play. They've got such talent at that position. They'd love to have him out there, but they won't suffer much of a drop-off.
The Kings making a switch here. Bagley, he's checked in for Randall. Jackson comes in for Bielitsa. Fields checked in for Bogdanovich. And Yogi Ferrell subbed in for Fox. Now here's Hield. That 3 off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake. Young with the ball. Now guarded by Bogdanovich. And so the ball is out of bounds. Bogdanovich touched it last. Young against Hield. Young outside. The dish to Len. The kick out to Young. Clock at 4.
And a nice defensive sequence there by Hield. Not a natural lockdown defender, but he's a competitor.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Well, Justin Jackson at 6'8" has a nice skill level and a nice natural feel to the game. He doesn't stop the ball, and he gets his points pretty much in the flow of the offense.
First one falls for him. And Justin Jackson has such an amazing floater, doesn't he?
Well, he does, and he can do it with either hand, which is quite impressive at that size. 6'8", and a left hand and a right hand floater. That in-between game, tough to guard.
Jackson hits both of them. Here's Young. He kicks it to Bazemore. Back to Young. And the rejection by Cauley Stein.
Don't want to be careless around Cauley Stein. That's when he rises up and box shots away.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Willie Cauley-Stein, the 6th overall pick back in 2015. Brent, how do you evaluate his progress as an NBA player?
Well, I think it's been a tough situation in Sacramento with so much changeover in personnel, a coaching change as well. He's still pretty raw offensively. He was drafted out of Kentucky as a defensive player, and that's so far where mostly his impact has been felt.
The free throw drops for Jackson. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And when you watch Collins play, Greg, you just can't help but notice how athletic he is going to the rim.
Man, his hang time and ability to throw it down make him an ideal finisher inside. Very efficient because he's not only a strong finisher, but also enjoys attacking the rim. And does a great job, I think, of picking up misses, just being a pest for the defense.
John Collins has some areas of his game, Brand, he'd like to improve, but finishing at the rim isn't one of them.
No, definitely not. He's 6'10" and just explosive when he gets around the rim. Great composure in traffic, and I don't think he gets rattled at all by contact down there. I think he gets to salivating a little bit to have those big finishes that we saw in his rookie campaign.
And a good job bringing that free throw percentage up here in the second half, doing a great job at the line.
The pass to Bogdanovich. Jackson in the corner. Here's Cauley Stein, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And you can just see these signs from Cauley Stein about figuring some things out about where he can be effective on the floor. That time, a nice use of the pump fake.
And he makes the first. That one is no good. It's deflected. Inside, Young. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Young's got 34 points.
Well, he's got a baton in the right hand as he's orchestrating what's going on. A maestro, if you will.
It's Bogdanovich on the wing. He's covered by Bazemore. Healed against Young. Jackson from long range. Changes up. Bagley with the bucket.
And he's just an attacking player. A guy who doesn't mind a little contact. Bagley there with a strong finish.
The Hawks leading by 3. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. And Bazemore kicks to Young. 5 on the clock. And the shot is good. Young's got 36.
You gotta like seeing this from Young, wanting to prove he's more than just a jump shooter.
Left side, Jackson. Pass to Bagley. Back to Jackson. Shoots the 3. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. For Atlanta, they've gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Healed against Young. Cauley Stein grabs the board. Cauley Stein's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Bogdanovich finds Hield. Atlanta with the rebound. Young's got 4 rebounds in this game. And Buddy Hield is going to pick up a foul. And that'll be his third foul so far. Young against Hield. Back to Bazemore. Young in the corner. Good on the triple.
Well, he now has 4 3-pointers this game, guys. 2 in each half. He's really spacing out the floor for his teammates.
Bogdanovich against Bazemore. The offensive rebound. Cauley Stein's shot is good.
Cauley Stein aggressive inside, putting the defense on their heels and in a tough spot, staying engaged.
Bazemore dishes to Young. Herter guarded by Jackson. Passes it to Collins. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Bagley's got rebound number 13 with that last one. Here's Cauley Stein. Makes it off the glass. And now just a 4-point Atlanta lead.
Well, that's good teammate stuff right there. Looking for your guys. Buddy Hield has a strong feel for when to give it up.
Atlanta's gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the fourth. Young against Hield. The jump hook, and good. Got the English that time as it falls. Young's got 41. Hield, the pass to Bogdanovich. Bagley with the ball. Back to Bogdanovich. Top of the key, Bagley. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Hield. It's tipped.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
Jackson against Young. And he makes that one.
It's pretty simple. I figured it out. He can't miss. Adding to the lead with ease and capitalizing on every opportunity. He can't miss.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Without question, Trae Young displaying his skills today.
The defense has to take the ball out of his hands. He's just knocking down every 3-pointer he takes right now.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Trae Young.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
And at last, he gets a little redemption. You know, it's been several games since he's been at his best. He's really been having a tough time. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Well, I got a chance to listen to Dave Yeager's huddle with his team. He told his team to keep looking for those perimeter shots. He said their defense is not respecting us, so let's keep shooting until they come out on us. Guys?
Just a little bit off in the first, but he's been anything but that here in the second quarter. Really impressive to see him turn it around like that.
Now here's Bazemore. Kicks it to Len. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And a quick look at how Atlanta's schedule shaping up. On Saturday, they'll be facing Hassan Whiteside and the Miami Heat. Then on Tuesday, they'll tip off a road trip in Charlotte where they'll take on the Hornets.
And in that matchup with the Pistons, they have that date circled. They love to compete, and they feel they can play very well against that group if they can execute.
Feeds it to Jackson. Stolen by Collins. Bazemore against Bogdanovich. Prince wide open. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Wow, Prince has a little daylight, and that shot looked true.
The Kings trail by 9. Hield kicks to Bagley. Down low and stolen by Prince. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
And lots of credit for the team around him. They're picking up the slack here tonight. He just can't buy a bucket right now.
Hield finds Bogdanovich. Back to Hield, beyond the arc. The shot, no good. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. Pass to Young. To the middle. Oh, no, he may have gotten injured right there. He's in a lot of pain.
And that's the one thing you just really can't control or even guard against, and that's injury.
Yep, you can do all the stretching and all the strength training, eat right, train right, but at the end of the day, it's pretty random.
And the Kings making a change here. Randolph has checked in. Taurean Prince, the product out of Baylor, Brent. Sometimes you wish he would take more shots than he does.
Look, Prince has had a coach that's infused some confidence in him. He has a new coach this year, and we'll see if that carries over. But has had some moments, and Coach Bud leaned on him pretty heavy in the last campaign. We'll see if Pierce does the same this year.
And Atlanta has possession after the Kings pick up 2. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Taurean Prince has such a great motor, and the physical nature of his play, you got to appreciate that aggressiveness.
The Memphis Grizzlies, going into last season, retired Zach Randolph's number 50. Brent, talk about what he meant to that franchise and what it meant to him.
Well, he was just such a perfect fit for the idea of the grit and the grind and the mentality that the Memphis team had through the years with Dave Yeager as the coach and the kind of playoff success that they had. Perfect in his style, perfect in his personality, perfect in his professionalism. And there's a reason why number 50 hangs up in Memphis. Zach Randolph, a true pro.
Len's shot is off. The Kings trail by 10. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Working on making this a consistent staple of his game. If Cauley-Stein is hitting these kind of shots, they're going to rack up some more wins.
Now, here is Young. Knocks down the 3 ball.
Oh, it's scary because he's just been a matchup nightmare in this game. He's eaten up anybody they've thrown at him.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
And they're picking up a lot of fouls already in the penalty. Not a good sign. They need to focus on moving their feet and maintaining a good defensive position.
Sacramento's gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep. Bogdanovich dishes to Cauley-Stein. Trying his luck deep. Bogdanovich, no luck. Atlanta leading by 11. To the inside. Stolen by Jackson. And now Sacramento on the break. Lets the 3 fly. They get the rebound. They shoot again. Misses the layup. Prince against Jackson. Prince, the pass to Young. Sinks that one from the post. Young's got 48.
Well, him dominating the offensive end is what accounts for this lead. Just a very difficult guy to stop once he gets going.
Hield kicks to Jackson. The pass to Randall. Over Collins. The rebound by Prince. Prince has got 4 rebounds in this game. To the paint. Here's Young. Another one goes. Incredible.
My goodness. 50 for the end.
Yep, he is putting on a show.
Athleticism on display in that particular play as Cauley-Stein has some great mobility and drove in to get those points.
And so Bazemore will bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. He kicks it to Len. Young outside. The Kings trail by 13. Here's Jackson. Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup. Jackson's got 5 points now this quarter. Atlanta's gotten 3 of their 6 3-pointers to fall here in the fourth.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for Atlanta.
And they're fully in control now, but there were some tense moments, I thought, for them throughout this game.
Listen, they certainly weren't coasting despite what the score looks like. I love the way they came together, though, when everything started to look a little dire and really put the hammer down.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Trae Young.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender. And you can tell they're ready to start celebrating a well-deserved victory here tonight.
Yeah, you can see the fans. They've already started celebrating themselves. A gutty performance.
Heald kicks to Randolph. Over Collins. Randolph can't hit, and Zach Randolph gets the whistle that time. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. And so Young nails them both. Farrell for 3. That one doesn't drop. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. With Jeremy Lin. Impressive team win tonight. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a great effort, 1 through 15. Everybody just coming out with high energy and playing team basketball.
The ball got going and it led to a big win, Jeremy. Thank you. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.